Hello, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Give people some time to get their Monday mornings going. Just checking the mic camera, ready to go. I think we are all set on everything coming in here. So that's great. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in Chicago, Illinois. For those of you that didn't know, I moved from San Francisco to Chicago to be a little bit closer to my family. So if you were seeing this in Chicago and you or you're passing through, shoot me a shout out and let's make something happen in person. It's been a long time since we've done one of these, better part of the summer, but I think it's kind of a new way for us to show you some of what we've been working on. So my hope is to show you guys a little bit of that today. So we'll give everybody a couple more minutes and then we'll jump right into what's going on in the platform, some things that come in the fall, and what to be on the lookout for. Cool. So looks like we are just at the strike of 8. So we'll go ahead and get started. So thank you, those of you that are on various platforms streaming. Since we last used StreamYard, StreamYard was unfortunately unable to do casts directly to Facebook groups. So that's a fun little update. But nonetheless, we now have our streaming capabilities back. We now have the product self-serve back. So today is going to be a fall product update. Really, it's probably a summer product update. We've been working really hard to listen to your guys' feedback, listen to some of the things that you guys have wanted. So maybe a bit of update just on the company and like where we've been focusing our efforts over the past, let's call it 6 months. So as we completed the Charlie 1 models, we saw this increased demand for a lot of custom tooling, a lot of custom projects. And given that we were a small team, we had to kind of pick our battles as to where to focus our development efforts. And so we learned a lot through that. We got some great customers, great logos that were added to our customer base. But really what we wanted to do was then take all the learnings from that and try to filter it back through the product and platform that we built to date. So we had a lot of LTDs, a lot of pro users, a lot of business users. And so we went through this process of simplification. So really what that entailed was a couple kind of big things that you'll see. So first, is as we were focusing our efforts a little bit more on enterprise, we started to take some of our efforts away from self-serve. This was mostly to focus our developers in one area and try to then funnel back whatever we learned from those businesses into what we've developed as well. Secondly, is we wanted to stabilize the GoCharlie platform as well as the models that sit behind this. And then third, I think most importantly, was get back to a state of reliability where you could come in every day and have a consistent experience without the worry that your outputs weren't going to come back, without the worry that you weren't going to get consistently what you wanted to get out, and ultimately make it really easy to do that. So with the fall product update, what I'm going to do today is just walk you through some of the updates across the entire platform. Some of the stuff you may not have known about, some of the stuff you may have. But I think the overarching themes here are threefold. One is that the Content Studio is a bit of a return to our roots. So making it super easy to create the things that you know you need to create to help grow your business from a copy standpoint. And then very quickly, some other opportunities. Second is making the UI go much, much further away from prompt engineering. We sat back, we talked with a lot of different users. I think we had over a couple hundred conversations with people about different ways that they like to interact with the AI versus not, the benefits of a chat interface versus the no benefits of chat interface, the complexities of a chat interface versus just a normal standard output, and then really being able to focus a lot more on the workflows that people normally have with this type of work. I think that it's a great foundation that we've laid. I think that we're bringing back the self-serve and returning to our roots a little bit more, which I'm very excited about. I started this company with a focus on how do we empower people that don't have a lot, but still want to gain the benefits of AI. And I think we did a great job of that with this set of foundations. But that's really what we're going to focus on today. So if you are able, you can share questions in the comments if you like. If not, We'll get to those questions a little bit afterwards. As always, Brennan@GoCharlie is my email. Shoot me a note. But with that, I wanted today to be a lot more about like, let's get into it. Let's play with this. Let's talk through the updates and let's really see what's going on in the GoCharlie platform. We'll end today with a little bit of a discussion of what to expect in the fall as we kind of get towards the holidays. Some exciting updates there, some deals, some discounts, some Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I know everybody's excited. I'm trying to figure out how to buy Sabrina Carpenter tickets for my fiance. So if anybody's got to connect there, that's what we're trying to do this year for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But with that, let's jump right into this. So I'm going to go ahead and present, share screen. Boom. We are going to go entire screen here. There we go. You will now see infinite screen, but now you should see the GoCharlie product. So if you haven't logged in a while, this is going to look a little bit different than you. So for our LTD users, many of whom are coming back over the past month and a half, this is going to look much different than what you previously were seeing. But if you've been around since the early days, this is going to look very similar, but obviously like a lot more clean, a lot less faded, a little bit more simplistic and stylistic. So first and foremost is this is the homepage. And so the homepage is kind of divided into two areas, tools and utilities. So tools is this top area where you see Campaign Studio, Simple Charlie, Agent Charlie, and Text Wizard. Everybody has access to Campaign Studio, Simple Charlie, Agent Charlie, and Text Wizard. We have some beta features. The previous platform, for those of you that have been using us over the past 12 months, is called Agent Charlie. There have been some significant updates there, but we're going to focus a little bit more on the Campaign Studio today. But then utilities is really the other section of this homepage. So utilities, think this is where you would have an API for those of you that have API access, and then you have your Brand Voice library and File Vaults library. So I'll start there. I won't do a huge deep dive into Brand Voice and File Vaults, but just wanted to give like more of a refresher of what's going on here. So with the Brand Voice library, we give you the ability to create unlimited brand voices. So you can create as many of these as you want. This is beneficial because you can do a brand voice per brand. But what I think people often forget is that this is meant to be whatever you want it to be. We're giving you the flexibility to create this. So you could create a brand voice at the individual product level. So a product could now have a brand voice. You could create a brand voice for a product at a specific season level. So we have Christmas coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Maybe we have a specific campaign. Williams-Sonoma could do their own kind of brand voice just for the fall, but they could do it at a product level. They could do it at a product and campaign level. If you're an agency, you could do this at a per client level or a per client per product level. The beauty of this platform is that we've given you the flexibility to do so in a very easy and intuitive way. It's super simple. So we just say Williams-Sonoma Christmas calendar voice. For company profile, we can put Williams-Sonoma is focused on making novice all the way to expert cooks the centerpiece of the kitchen. We focus on bringing warmth into the household by focusing everyone on the warmth of the kitchen stove and conversations that occur around it. So as you can see, I was just typing for a few minutes there, and I only typed 250 words. You have 2,000 words for each of these. But as a refresher, the company profile, think about this as building your teammate. And so the company profile is what you would tell people you're about as a company. It's your value, it's your vision, it's your mission, it's who you're addressing. But then the response rules is for those that really want to like tie-dye the outputs of the AI. This is for people that, you know, you really want to focus in on how do I come across as a voice. And for those of you that work at an agency or those of you that work with a very strong brand, this is super important because you want your brand voice to resonate across different platforms. And we'll go into how you can do that really easily. But response rules here, just say be warm, approachable, and fun. Spread the holiday spirit. Cool. So you have 2,000 characters for both of these boxes. That's more characters than you have on any other platform. It's text only for the time being. But if you're not really sure what to put in here, you can simply just take a link to your client's website, and you can ultimately use that link, drop it into Charlie, and ask Charlie to give you a description of the brand voice, and then drop it back into Response Rules. For those of you that are SEO fiends, Response Rules is where you put the keywords that you want to make sure that you mention, and where you can put the keywords that you don't want to mention. So this is very important for you to help keyword stuff, help put the keywords in that you want people to understand and associate with your brand, and create it here. Now, that's brand voices. Remember, you can create as many as you want. I'll show you how to access those from the rest of the tools. But then we have the File Vaults library. So the File Vaults library is very simple. You simply just do the same thing that you were doing. All you do is say Williams-Sonoma Fall Collection, boom. And then you can choose the assets that you want to use here. So if I go to downloads, I can go to this lovely presentation that was given. I could go to this article here. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm also going to upload this lovely holiday guide that we were looking at. So I'll click here. We upload those files go in, and then we create a memory vault. So for those of you that don't know, basically what's happening whenever these get uploaded is that you're able to vectorize these. So instead of this being just like a full file in the background, it's a vector. Basically what this means is that when you use a memory vault in a specific workflow, it's going to search through the different components of the file and pull the most relevant information to the topic that you're trying to write about. This is super relevant because now you can add all of this file context without having to attach it each and every time that you're trying to do a workflow. So if I go back here, that's basically the utilities. If you want to use the API, we'll cover that in a separate discussion. But really, you have 4 different tools here. So I'll quickly go through the other ones, and then I'll jump into the Campaign Studio. But the Text Wizard, think about this as an AI smart document. You simply just click here, you click this button, and you can say, write me a love letter to Go Charlie customers. Charlie will generate. It'll come out in this text file here. And then as you wish, you can highlight the text that Charlie is able to generate, and you can use Charlie Unleashed. So for those of you that have been around for a while, you simply just highlight this, you click write more, rewrite, shorten, lengthen. You can say, make this a Christmas carol. Have a little bit of fun with it since we're approaching the holidays. But really, you can do whatever you wish. You have all of the normal fun of documents, and it sits right here. You can switch between your documents simply by clicking back and forth. When a new document, you can click this, and you're here. So this is for those people that are familiar with the document interface and want to stay with that level of familiarity, while also using some of the AI-enabled features. Now, Simple Charlie is basically the agent interface. It's a chat interface. So for those of you that like chat, this is how you can use it. So simply just click your brand voice that you want to use. So let's use our Christmas calendar one. And then you can click the memory vault that you want to use. So you can, let's do the fall collection if we want. But really, there's a couple ways that you can do this. So the way that Simple Charlie works is it's basically just an LLM on the back end. So Simple Charlie, it's only going to be text output. It's not going to be images. It's not going to be multi-output. It's going to be simple interface. So think ChatGPT when it first started, but with the ability to bring in your brand voices, file attachments, all of that. So let's write a Christmas carol about the new Go Charlie creator platform. So it's going to use the brand voice from Williams-Sonoma. It's going to write this Christmas carol. It's going to come back with something based upon that. But you'll see that Simple Charlie is here up at the top. So it comes back with the text. For those of you that were unaware that you could go into documents, you simply have this chat bubble. You can up or down thumb it, but then you can click this, create a document, boom, you go right into the document interface and you can edit as you see fit. So if I go back to the chat thread here, one more thing I wanted to show you guys, we'll dive a little bit deeper into, but for those that like chat with data, what you can do is we have this thing called QA mode in Simple Charlie. So you can click QA mode, and when Q&A mode is selected, you can actually chat with the underlying memory vault. So this is why memory vaults are also important. So if you've ever done chat with data, chat with PDF, you want to throw a whole bunch of information in there and ask a bunch of questions towards it, this is how you can do that. So you simply just choose the memory vault that you want to ask questions about, and then you can ask your questions here. Tell me what the future of AI holds for 2025. And it will go and it will just use the data that you put in the memory vault as the usefulness. So you're not going back to the LLM, you're not going to the internet, you're not going to any of that. It's only going to the data in the memory vault. So this is super beneficial for those of you that want to have that chat with data functionality, and you don't have to go to a different platform to use it. Now, if I go back out to our homepage, I'll have Agent Charlie here. So Agent Charlie, this is the same agent that you guys have been knowing and using, but we've invested a lot in reliability. So it still has that chat, still has multi-tool functionality. Unfortunately, it doesn't have YouTube URLs that it can transcribe, but this is where you can use all the tools that you know and love. So you can attach an audio video file and transcribe it. You can use those same brand voices in vaults, and then you can also generate images. So this is where you would be able to generate images in the platform right now that we have some ideas for bringing back a standalone image generation tool. So keep your eyes out for that. Let's say a golden retriever typing on a computer. So the agent will go ahead and run with that. But remember, the agent is fairly complex, has a bunch of different tools that it uses. So if you really just want to get an image output, there's also this image Charlie functionality. So you can simply just click image Charlie and it'll come about, and you click in here and you can say 5 golden retrievers playing together on a rainbow, just to have some fun. Now, I love image Charlie because then I can guarantee it. I don't have to say generate an image of, it just knows that I want an image and it'll come back much, much faster than what you're going to get with a normal agent. But if you didn't know, you can also edit images. So I can click in here and I can make edits to this as I wish. So I can add a frame. So all of the image editing suite is still there. You can use it as you wish. For those of you that didn't know, you can also overlay things. So let's say that you generate a really great image and you want to overlay your logo. You can go ahead and do that. So let's just do sad Charlie. So we'll put sad Charlie in here because Charlie is sad if you don't play with Charlie. So you can put that in here, save it, and then you are ready to go. So that's kind of this image feature and image Charlie and agent Charlie. But what we're really here to talk through today is the Campaign Studio. So if you're watching this video and you don't have this, that means that either you didn't get it activated on your account or you have not paid. Our self-service tier is pay to play. We will be releasing a couple other things here shortly to that note. But really, the Campaign Studio is an exercise in let's just get back to creating the content that we need. What is the content that we need? What is the goal of that content? What are the asset types? And how do we make this so stupidly simple that anyone can do it? And so really that has manifested itself as this interface. Now, at first it can seem overwhelming, but I think what you'll start to see is that we've given you all the tools to play with the different knobs and levers that you might be wanting to use in terms of context, in terms of number of outputs, in terms of your goals, in terms of your business. And we've really tried to bake that all into one interface. So I'll walk you through this. We'll do a couple different asset types, but I encourage you to get in and play yourself. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there's no prompt engineering here. It's not a chat interface. It is very much click driven. I do believe that for AI to have mass adoption, you're going to need to have interfaces that focus on the work to be done. And this is our foundational layer of how we're going to focus on that. So while we have chat interfaces in the agents, as well as Simple Charlie, Image Charlie, and Agent Charlie, what we really think is that for the masses to adopt this type of technology and receive its benefit, they really need to be assisted with user interfaces that actually support those workflows. And more importantly, taking it a step further, we do a lot of the hard work on the back end of figuring out, well, what's examples of good? What's examples of bad? How can we bake that into what's being created here? So the more that you use the platform, the more that we get informed about that. But we've also done a lot of that hard legwork to determine what looks good and what doesn't. So you don't have to do mega prompts. You don't have to do all these chain of thought reasoning things. You simply just have to tell Charlie what it is you want to create and what you want to use to create it, and Charlie will do it. So the first thing that you'll notice here is we start with your goals, because any campaign is going to have a goal. And I think as we use this tool, you're going to see why it's a campaign studio, because you can do many different outputs using that same message, all with a couple clicks. But for this, let's go with drive awareness. So then you have these 4 tiles. These are different asset types. So social media, ads, emails, and blogs. For our purposes, let's focus on social media for now, but each one of these has different little sub asset types that you can use. So there's different ones that you can play with here if you so wish, but you have email, ads, social media that you can play with. And then we have some options for blogs coming out a little bit later. But so social media, what I can do here is I have Instagram, and you'll notice that for each of these, I can go all the way up to 10 outputs. So one of the benefits of the agent was that you could do up to 10 outputs all at once. We went ahead and put that on steroids, made it super easy for you to have multiple jobs running at once, all using the same context. So I'm just going to do 5 for our purposes here. And then one of the big things that we learned is many of our user base was international. Many of them were also multinational, where they were US based and they needed to create in a bunch of different languages. So we've went ahead and we've integrated DeepL for our output languages. I know this was a big ask to transition over from Amazon to DeepL's translation service. Note this is only on the output language. So you are able to do output, but you still use English on the input front. We have a bunch of different languages here: Chinese, simplified, and traditional. We have German, we have Greek, which is nod to all of us being Greek, but for our purposes, we'll just keep to English. Then if we go to brand voice, so we already created brand voices previously, but this is where you would choose from one of them if you see fit. I'm going to go without a brand voice for right now, just to have a little bit of fun. And then what do you want your content to be about? So we're going to say the Go Charlie product fall product update, where we remove the need for prompt engineering to use AI to drive great content. Cool. So then target persona, just you're able to kind of craft this. If you want to just say digital marketers, if you want to say entrepreneurs, really, again, the reason that personas are important is because it gives context. If I'm talking to a bunch of agricultural people that went to Purdue, no offense to Purdue, but they are going to focus a little bit more on the agricultural meaning of Apple than maybe the company Apple. So if I'm talking digital marketers and entrepreneurs, you're probably thinking about Apple, the company. So really, this helps drive the context. Now, note, for both topic as well as target persona, you have 2,000 characters that you can play with. So there's a lot of different context that you can add there if you so wish. And then we have this drop down called additional context. So additional context is where you can start to incorporate files, websites, that sort of thing. So we could choose a memory vault for this purpose. I'm not going to use that right now. But what you could also do is incorporate a website. So we can't do YouTube URLs anymore, unfortunately, but you can do most websites. We've upgraded the web scraping capabilities of our tool, and we now have that ability for you to use it as and when you see fit. Then also you can upload files. So right now it's PDFs, documents, CSVs. We do not yet support audio and video here, but that will be a fast follow feature. But this is to allow you to add additional context. So as you can start to see, the amount of context that you can give Charlie is pretty significant. You can give Charlie 2,000 words here, 2,000 words of persona. You can give a memory vault. You can give your website, and you can give file attachments. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, this is like so much work to get to the content. But what we want is that the right context to be considered when you're creating content. So we simply click create, and it'll say campaign content generating. And what you'll get is an output that starts streaming over here. So you should get about 5 from our previous use of this. So take a second for it to load. We have a couple complete ones here so that you guys can see what is this going to look like when it's complete. So simply you have, a bunch of different outputs all at once. I think I may have filled my cache with image Charlie, so it might be taking a second, but you'll see that you can do a bunch of different platforms all in the same thing. So basically this panel off to the right here is a streaming of different types of outputs. So you can create multiple types of outputs using the same inputs simply just by clicking different types here. So this is why it's really great when you give a lot of context, because once you give that context, you can repurpose it across different platforms. And with each of these different types, Charlie gives you different outputs based upon the platform, based upon the asset type, and based upon the learning that we've imbued Charlie with. So this is not so dissimilar than what we previously had, where your Facebook posts are going to be a little bit more casual in nature, maybe some hashtags, maybe some emojis. You can even adjust the response rules so that there are no hashtags, depends on what you want to do. But the idea is that what you're getting for TikTok is going to be much different than what you're getting for Instagram, which is going to be much different than what's coming out for Facebook, which is going to be much different than what is going out for LinkedIn. So all of these are different based upon the platform that you are choosing. Now, let's go back here. It looks like it's taking a little bit longer for web scraping, but if I go back to some of these ones that I've already created and simply go here, and I'll see all of these different types of outputs. So each one of these was created in the context of a campaign that I previously created. So you'll get this text editor. You can still use Charlie Unleashed right here. So you don't really have to go to the text wizard unless you really want to, or you want to have more free form creation. You still have that create button here. So if you want to create more within that specific text document, you can. And then it'll save those edits here. So let's just say that I selected all of this. I say rewrite it. Charlie's going to go ahead and rewrite all of this content for us. Boom, we now have a new update, and that's there. Let's say that I don't like this and I want to delete it. I can simply click this trash button and it will delete. But what I can also do is if I just click this campaign, it'll take me back out. So the way I did that, I clicked into here, and then I clicked back out into the campaign I had selected. And so what I can do is simply click between these different asset types, and I can use this same set of inputs to create a couple different product email intros all at once. So what you start to see is that you can create a ton of content very fast across a bunch of different platforms. All you simply have to do is be able to click these types of jobs. So if I go back here, I now have the product introduction emails that I was focused on creating. Boom, this is done. So now I have all these product introduction emails. Is really great. This is a little bit longer than what I probably want, so I'll go back in and make some edits, make some deletes. But then let's say that I want to do some sales emails. I simply just click sales emails, and I click all the email types. I adjust my context as necessary. Maybe I add additional context, and I create more emails. So as you can start to see, this is why this is Campaign Creator, because you can literally click between asset types and just click create, and you can carry that same context, same message, same benefits, same uniqueness in context, but you can apply each different platform and asset types, unique considerations, stylistic considerations, format. All of that learning that we've imbued into Charlie is now easily accessible simply by a click of a button, instead of you having to figure out how to create a prompt and going in and edit and going in and figuring out how to get Charlie to pay attention to your style. You can simply just click through all of this, and boom, you can create super, super easy ways to do this. So this is, I think, really, really great. We go back to our old Instagram pieces here, and we can see these that we were trying to create about the fall product update. So boom, we have all sorts of output types here, all following kind of the Instagram format based upon an awareness campaign versus maybe a conversion or a click-through here. So it's great to experiment with. I think you start to see how easy it is to transition between different platform types, different asset types, and you can go as many of these in the Campaign Creator as you want here on the right-hand side. You can do this for ads, emails, and blogs. One important consideration that I would say is the more context that you give, the more or the longer that it might take for outputs. So this particular run, I think, took a while because we have a lot of info on the GoCharlie website. But the more files that you attach, the more context that you're adding, it'll just take a little bit longer. So be a little bit patient. But the outputs that you will get will be much more quality and allow you to move around with them. So that is it at a high level. We'll be doing a lot more deep dives, a lot more tutorials, but the GoCharlie product, I think, has moved pretty significantly from where we last had it. We've brought back self-serve. We've greatly improved the reliability of the agents, but the Campaign Studio, I think, is where many users are starting to get super excited about what we've done. So with that, I will go ahead and stop my screen share, and I will answer any questions that we have left. Does the campaign goal change the output? Yes. So great question. The campaign goal does change the output. So if you have drive awareness, it's going to focus on content that's going to really capture someone's eye, but just to get the brand out there. Whereas if you do a conversion or click through, it's going to give you a little tease, but then say, click here to learn more, or buy now for this percentage discount. It's going to give a little bit more that encourages different calls to action, where drive awareness typically is going to focus on, hey, this is really cool, but I want to share this out so that other people know about this information. So slightly different goals is going to change different contexts, similar to how different platforms will change different contexts. I saw somewhere in here that they cannot find the Campaign Studio. So shoot us an email at support@GoCharlie. We'll make sure that you get set up. But I think that's it for questions. So I guess a couple things to look forward to before the end of the year to close us out here. So one is that we will be sending out a free month to GoCharlie, the new self-serve edition. So if you have any friends that have been wanting to try AI for their own marketing, their own content creation, their own workflows, shoot that out to them, get them involved. Second is that we're bringing back the affiliate program as part of a larger partner program. There will be more details that come out about that here shortly, in probably the next 2 weeks, I would say. But we want to make sure that the affiliate link stuff is working reliably, because in the past, First Promoter was very bad about that. I think we've got it solved, but want to make sure that that's stable before we do it. And then we will also be bringing back a limited batch of lifetime deals as part of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So be on the lookout for that as it pertains to the holidays. We want to make sure that people are getting those in their hands. We're still debating on pricing. It'll be most of the functionality that we've talked through today, and maybe some additional product updates. But we know that there's a lot of people that their purchasing decisions are not really subscription driven, and they want to be able to buy one time and have access to a reliable tool over time. And we want to make sure that we're addressing that market as well as part of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So be on the lookout for that. Get into the platform, use it. We're here if you have questions. If you want a more customized walkthrough, feel free to reach out to me or book a demo through our website. And then last but not least, we do offer custom tooling. So for those of you that don't remember, we build our own large language models. We've built some really exciting stuff on that front that you guys will be hearing a lot more about over the next couple months. But what that allows us to do is we have the tools that are in the platform, but we can also build custom tooling and make it available to you. Now, it will be an additional charge, but we've done this for some of our enterprise clients. We've tried to filter that back into what's available to you guys as and when it's possible for that to be scaled up in a way that's meaningful. But if you are a business and you have very custom AI needs, or there's some workflow that you really wish AI could do and you haven't been able to figure it out with other tools, reach out to us. We'll work with you to build this. In some cases, we've even had clients where they want to just use AI to get the data ready for their systems to utilize. We even have packages around that. So really what this new fall update serves as is a foundation for you to ultimately be able to create content, supercharge your workflows, have a reliable product experience, still have some of the experimental benefits of the agent tooling. But ultimately, we're getting back to a much more reliable experience, which means more business for you, which means we're here to help you scale, all with the tooling that we've developed over the course of the past couple of months in talking with you and in talking with enterprises. So hopefully this is the first of many of these that we're going to do throughout the rest of the year. It's really good to be back here with y'all. It's one of the best attended events we've had in a little while, which is amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you for spending your Monday morning with us. And more importantly, I'm really excited for what we have coming for you guys. So with that, Go Charlie or go home. I will leave you, and thank you so much for attending.